fraudulent. Waiting on the rain for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the white flag, they forfeit it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I'm gonna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. With it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you block them all. Quarterback did an option and set it off. Duck, goose, linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. Bust down. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossibly. Red zone, this my house like my property. Do a quarterback, niggas on 4th and 3.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
11. 6, 6, 11, 11.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
11, 11, 11. Go ahead.
Garoppolo now. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A very solid gain of 27. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They run it with McKinnon. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you guys didn't come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
13.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. His throw caught right around the 6. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Gold now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Gone!
Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. And the Niners get there and bring him down. DeForest Buckner with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Gone!
Out of the gun, Rudolph. And this throw will be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried? You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Got three down. 21.
Now McKinnon. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Rudolph now on second down. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Rudolph on first down. Goes underneath for Bell. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Caught here by Bell. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now a first down carry by Bell. There he goes inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. That good for 22 and a first down.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running
That's
back
what you
on
need
that
for a good
play?
counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. Steps away to his left. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. Not that time for Watkins.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
20, 13.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The veteran Morgan Burnett there on the coverage.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Hey, gun. 11. Black 80.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's McKinnon. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to fourth down.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on third and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
They'll run with a fullback, Juszczyk. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
Here we go. Hurry up. 12.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. Flushed out right. And his throw is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Gold now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On second down, it's Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Play action. It's Rudolph. But it's brought in by Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They go play action here on 1st down. And an alley to run. And it's a fumble. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On second down, here's Rudolph. This is Bell on the dump off. And he gets it down to the 32. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And the 49ers going to take another timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. This is caught. Watkins. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. Now Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Go ahead. 11. 1, Omaha.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. We now proceed to the start of the 2nd half. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now it's Rudolph. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, Rudolph. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And now it's 2nd down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Back to the air, Rudolph on 2nd down. Trying to lay one up deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick 6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Gold with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Malcolm Smith there for the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 16. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. So that is 2 pick 6s he's thrown in this football game. Now, you take those away, Charles, it's a completely different situation.
It totally is, but guess what? They have to deal with what they have now, okay? So they can't just mentally go, well, if we hadn't thrown those pick 6s, we'd be okay. Here's where you are. Here's where you're going to battle. But guess what? They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or...
And now here is another interception. Picked off with great anticipation. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
6.
Now Garoppolo. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, a 22. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Here comes a first down throw from Rudolph. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions maybe in the back of his mind. So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. A give to Bell. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt. They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, the D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
McKinnon. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. A gain of 3, second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
I got you.
Here again is McKinnon. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
13.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo. Flush to his right. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Now from the 9, here's second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be third and goal now. They come out here in the eye. Toss play to McKinnon. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. And a loss of 3 to bring up fourth. And Gold is able to put it through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 24. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And they'll start the drive here with an end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to throw, Rudolph. They'll roll him out right. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. He'll get it up the middle. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. They'll go for it with Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Escaping the pressure right. And now here is another interception. Picked up by the All-Pro, Navarro Bowman. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start on the ground with Breida. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And this is going to be incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jerick McKinnon, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And his kick is right through. Gold now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Rudolph now on 2nd down. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Rudolph. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Solomon Thomas in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Watch him now, Barney!
3rd and long, it's Rudolph. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Rudolph on first down. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Rudolph looking to throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit.
After each game, a player gets graded on his performance, and that's every play of the game. So while that was the last play and it didn't change the outcome, he's still going to get kudos for playing it to the end.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Nifty footwork at the 45. And now look at him go. Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway as that